are here with another episode of Spectacular Magazine Shorts. I'm here with entrepreneur, mompreneur Briana Greer, who created the Impri Shop, which is laptop sleeves and cases that she created a brand out of, and she's been doing this quite some time now. So we are going to introduce her. Hi, Briana. Happy to have you on today.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. So just tell us about your brand and how you got into this. That's something that's up and coming for a lot of moms and business people. Those laptop cases and sleeves are very, very creative and popular. So just give us a little feedback and rundown of how you got started with that.
Yeah, so I started the company back in 2014. I was kind of just on the needed on the market. Needed a MacBook case for myself. Didn't really find anything at the time that sparked my interest. And so I was like, I'll just make myself one. I'm pretty crafty and I've always kind of been hands-on. I love to like do little small crafts and stuff around the house. And so I was like, I'll just make myself one. I purchased a case off of eBay, went to the craft store, bought some glitter and some other items to make it. And the first case was born. And it was really just for myself. I had zero intention. It was never a thought in my mind that it would turn into something bigger. But I posted it on Instagram, and Instagram in 2014 was very different than it is today. But just my small group of friends were like, hey, this is so cute. Can you make me one? And I was like, oh, sure. Like I'll make you one. And so I was just kind of hand making them for a few friends. I think I charged like $20 or $15 or something just to really cover the cost of my materials. And I was making them for a handful of people. And then one of my friends at the time, she had about 100,000 followers. And again, in 2014, that was a huge deal. And so I was like, hey, would you post this for me? And I sent her one and she loved it. She posted it. And that's when I really started to see that this could be something bigger than just a little small thing that I was doing for myself. I could potentially turn it into a business because the interest from that was just like, it was great. So that's how it started. It was out of a need for myself. I posted on Instagram and it took off.
Right. That's awesome. And social media is a big influence when becoming.
For sure.
So posting and word of mouth is very key. So you said, back in 2014, of course, social media had a different presence then. Now in 2021, what changes have you seen in your business due to social media's impact?
Yeah, the biggest in the beginning, asking people to post for just the product was the name of the game, right? Like it wasn't abnormal to say, hey, if I send you this, can you post it for me? And they were like, yeah, of course, sure. They were excited to get free product. And over the years, we have seen a huge shift where if you have 10,000 followers, they're asking you for $2,000, $3,000 to post. And in some cases that totally makes sense because the audience is really what we're going after, not the influencer. It's who they're able to influence. And so we've kind of shifted instead of it just being, anybody will share to anybody. We really hone in on, okay, who is the audience that we want to go after and who has a platform or a gateway, so to speak, to that audience. And so we've just shifted. Before it was like, anybody who will post, please post. Now it's definitely more niche and more dialed into who, really want to go after.
Right. So who is your target audience age group, or do you not have a target audience or age group? Is it strictly just for women, entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, and anyone can take advantage of that?
Of course, we would love everybody and anybody to come and shop with us. So we're never going to turn people away. But the people that we specifically target to are generally somewhere between 18 and 34 years old, median income, career women, or women who are a lot of times moms, are excluded from that career woman title, but very much moms who are entrepreneurs or things like that. And that is something that happened naturally. It was not something that we went after initially, but I think that because that's who I am, that's who I have always been speaking to. And from that, we've been able to build a community around that type of woman. And so that's who we go after today.
That's great. So let's talk about the pandemic. In 2020, COVID hit us really hard, and a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs suffered a lot of, struggle with the pandemic affecting business. So how did you overcome the pandemic now that we're a year later and things are getting better and things are starting to get back on track a little bit?
Yeah, I am so beyond grateful for the way that the pandemic even though it was hard and it was a lot of things happening all at once, the business really started to thrive because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we actually stopped the business at one point because it was a little bit overwhelming for me. And so I took a step back and I came back in 2019, towards the end of 2019. And so 2020 was really the first full year that we were open. And it was really just about like getting our grounding again and finding, again, to make sure that we're speaking to that audience. And so 2020, it helped me understand, who I wanted to go after. It helped me find clarity around how I wanted to show up as an entrepreneur. And then when everything started to fall apart, everyone was working from home. And so because of that, they wanted cuter accessories, I guess, anyways. And so we had people in our community, we have a really strong repeat customer rate. And so those people were posting about us. We had a few, sales about it. And in March of 2020, which is really when everything just kind of paused, ended up being our best month since reopening. So it was just kind of that fuel that I needed, that even though everything around me seemed like it was falling apart, it helped me dial in my focus. And so ever since then, we've just continued to grow and get better and stronger as a company and as an entrepreneur.
That's great. I'm so glad to see that you were able to transition in 2019 to 2020, and now 2021, you're doing amazing work. So that is really great. I see also that you did some modeling and acting. How did that kind of transition into building a business? Did you have any skills or things that kind of made you say, well, hey, I can use the skills I learned as an actress and model to kind of make my creativity with this MacBook cases and sleeves?
Yeah. I think that the creative side of it, like when I go to photo shoots and things like that, I love that part of it. Before, when we were doing, like when we did content shoots, it was a big deal for me because I came from that world and I know exactly how a photo shoot runs from, the time you get there to the time that you end. And so we put a lot of energy into that. And I realized that though that was a big part of what I wanted to do, it didn't always, I didn't really see the ROI on that always. And so we pulled back from that a bit. But modeling was something that my mom got me into when I was young. And so it's something that I just kind of did and have always done and actually still do every once in a while. And so I probably will always do it. And I just think that it's like fun for me, but it's definitely not. I've learned that it doesn't need to be like the core focus of our brand. It's the fun part. And always, sometimes the fun part isn't the stuff that brings the coin that you want to see.
It's all what is bringing in the coins and the customers. How can we target them? Not the fun part of it, the look, but what's really beneficial. So that's really good. So moving forward here, what other things can we look forward to with the Embry brand? Like, do we see more cases, different styles, or maybe you're going to bring in more accessories, maybe like the hair accessories, or you're sticking strictly to electronics?
Currently strictly with electronics. We would love to do a ton of other things. And of course, as a creative, my mind goes in, a million different places. But again, just from experience and doing this for, a good amount of years now, I understand that, sometimes you just need to stick with what's working. And once we've fully maxed out with what we're doing, then we can expand on other things. Because we've actually done, we did phone cases before, we did what are they called? iPad cases. We've done a few other things, but MacBook cases has always been the number one thing. And so instead of trying to spin my wheels and, spread myself a little bit too thin, we focus on what's working. And so right now that's going to continue to be the focus. We'll do a lot more collections and more fun designs and hopefully some partnerships and things like that. But right now it really is the focus is MacBook and like the sleeves that we have, which are a little bit more multifunctional.
That sounds great. Yeah, MacBooks, like those are like been around with Apple for a while, and then Apple the phone. Of course, phone cases are still very popular too. But I can definitely see the MacBook cases because they are so expensive. They're
so expensive. You wanted to, you want to spice it up a little bit, but you're not going to go buy another MacBook. So just to switch out the case every once in a while. Also, it's cute. You can jazz it up and switch it out, and for the pretty inexpensive. And then sleeves that we have, you don't have to have a MacBook. So we do kind of cater to a few people that don't have MacBooks because it's a sleeve. And so you can put any computer in it as long as it's about 13 inches or smaller. Your iPad can fit in it. phones can fit in it. We have moms or other, business women who just put documents in it. They don't use it for their computer at all. It's like a cute little folder that they can bring their stuff with them in. So
Yeah,
we cater to them in that way, but yeah.
right. So tell us your social media handles. How can people reach you besides the Instagram? And how does your ordering process work?
Yep. So everything is ordered online. Just our website is embryshop.com. We're Embry Shop across all of our social media handles. So Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. That's all we really use currently. But yeah, you can just order online through your phone, through the desktop computer. You can always email us if you have any questions at all. Sometimes it's a little confusing figuring out exactly what size you need because there's so many different sizes. There's the Air and there's the Pro. And so you can email us at hello. It's just hello@embryshop.com, and we will be happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Briana. I absolutely
Thank you.
The brand. I'm excited to order myself, and we'll definitely be spreading the word and making sure that people can take advantage of that, especially with a lot of growing entrepreneurs and moms as well. That brand and that network is very important. And especially with COVID and things, people getting back out and doing things and
yes,
hiring. So people are looking to venture out a little bit more. So I can see that business continue to grow for you, and we are so excited for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for joining me here. This was another episode of Spectacular Magazine Shorts. Again, this is Gillian Shaw. Till next time.
Spectacular Magazine. We on the scene.